Okay, I think... Looks like we're good. I fixed the issue. Hopefully. Hopefully. There we go. Okay, yeah, fully. No echo, please. Please, no. Just in case anyone chooses to watch on YouTube, which is a rarity, but... Gotta keep eyes out for it. Alright, all that is up. I actually probably could have gotten this lobby up ahead of time. And that would have been smart. So, this will be the classic audio test pre-stream open lobby. Feel free to hop in. That'll also be going in the Discord. And I will not be participating, so I'll just be looking at it. I might end up muting a little bit because I need to get some things done, and I don't want to give y'all ASMR sniffs and keyboard typing. So enjoy the games. And as always, if audio needs to be adjusted, that's why we're starting early, so please yell at me. I will address whatever needs to be done. Sorry, Ruby, I'm typing up the matchups and such, and also trying to get a little bit of sustenance in, so I don't want to give y'all good old, like, ASMR mukbang, keyboard typing, etc. Because pollen also got me sniffing. Hopefully it's not too annoying throughout the stream. Oh yeah, I'll hop in.
Oh.
Greeting.
Food and go. I'm in disbelief that TBC beat PSN on that Blue News right now.
Oh, I didn't watch the news.
They're going on right now, but they won all the way down to the wire.
Were they? Was it the whole of them fighting back, or was it mostly just Lana?
No, Llama didn't even play.
Rio?
For the most part, it was BDP.
You know, that's fair.
PME lost 2 games. Let's see, the only ones that really played was Ninja, PME, and Raze.
PSN, for not being a clan, kind of stacked.
So true. I didn't think it'd be that close, but I was like, oh my god, I cannot believe it. Yeah, it was Ninja Please, it was Nano, PME, and Raze. I don't know who their 5th was. Because those are the only ones that I can remember seeing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go back on the mute. Let you entertain the masses.
Alright, you know what that means, chat room. Talk to me. I'm trying to pick on someone. Laugh at people. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Were you here when Fluter Sam was hanging around?
Who?
Oh god. So, like, Crank was the old host, and then the 2 very common co-hosts were Penny and Sam. Mm-hmm. And Sam wasn't like the best at the game. They didn't put that much time, and I think they were also Europe, so they could never really play with great connection to a lot of people. But they would definitely help with commentary and just terrorize chat. It was fun.
They just like me for real.
So were you on last week? I don't remember.
On what?
For Get Gr8 last week.
No, not really.
Because I saw JP had that many people sign up and still went for 5, and I'm trying to remember how long it went. Because I don't think I've got it in me to have 5 flat for this many sign-ups.
Yeah. I mean, at least from what I saw on the list, it doesn't look like it was that many people still.
It's 9 now that one dropped.
Oh, I see.
I'll write it out and then see how much it actually looks like.
Too bad. I'm also assuming that we're not going to do much advanced testing today as well. Because I know there's definitely a lot of other players.
Forgot to check on that, and I think that just kind of depends on how... Probably depends on whether I decide to do 3 or 5 matches, and then how many advanced testers we have available, because we do have you, but I know some people don't want to get Bayo banded for their advanced.
What do you mean? I don't understand. That's not a real way of measuring someone's skill? To see if they're ready or not against a Bayo Band player? Wait! Yo, it's to see how good their neutral is. Trust. Oh my god, I cannot reach for everything. Okay. There we go. It's a big ban on a test. No, you guys have no idea. I think I've only tested one person so far as a tester, and it's like don't get me wrong, I understand why. Like Bayobana is to do your advanced testing, but let's see. Oh, you know what? I will meet Octo in the middle. Let's see. Where's my color? Also come to realize it is already 3:51.
Yep, started a little bit late, and then I've been
a little busy to say the least.
I definitely, for some reason in my head, kept on having 7 o'clock start time, and then it was 6:25, and I went, wait, no, we started a half hour early. For audio test and shenanigans.
All right. I'm also hoping we don't have any other like advancers in here, so that way one of us doesn't have to play as well too, Dunce.
I hate to break it to you, but
Oh, Pharma, what is this?
And the worst part is we actually had like a match, and then ISO dropped out, so. Now it's an open lobby.
Someone obviously forgot that they were playing in an event today.
Pharma has the advanced tag, right? Not crazy.
No.
No?
I'm shocked that reached me. Okay. That was fun. Oh my god, you didn't land yet? What the hell? Oh, that didn't reach. Pain. Oh my god, I'm looking at the wrong health. Oh my god, the jitter. Oh my god, Pharma. Oh my god. Jesus, the jitter.
That's fine. I don't know what you're on about here.
Jesus. Oh my god, oh my god, gee. There didn't it? Yes, Swarma, yes it did. I saw like God and everything. I saw like you know how like in Doctor Strange where like the ancient one or whatever her face was in that movie, where like she touches like Doctor Strange's forehead and then he gets warped. That's what I just felt that on right now. That was not it. Oh wait, I know what I was supposed to be practicing. Oh my god. All right, who wants to see some solo matches?
What was that? Better? What in the world was that?
Or what?
JP!
Oh,
no.
that beat. I didn't think it beat it like that.
I don't remember which advanced tests we've done and done it. And not
I know from last time it was up to Tay as far as I know. Alright, go over here.
Oh dear. Oh, first things first, I'll get the actual, Oh no, yeah, we're just gonna do 5. We're gonna do 5, and then...
Oh my god, I didn't get to go for it.
Maybe one advanced test after, depending on if people are here. But we can do 5. 5 matches.
Also, can we talk about the real issue that I have with Eliza?
Which is?
Why does she have like 2 different weights?
What do you... Oh. Yeah, I mean, I kind of just don't pay attention to that, like, ever.
Oh. Oh my god. I love proximity blocks. What a great system mechanic. Oh, okay. Oh, I love getting my 2. Yeah, Farmer, you had yourself sign up for advanced testing.
I mean, either way, you are probably getting matched with an advanced player because they're by far going to be the closest of the people who signed up. But yeah. Yeah, that's how that works.
All I'm just saying is that Farmer, you should play someone else. Yo, this everything on me is getting tired. I'm getting stressed. I played people and it's like, yo, everyone's looking at me. Ah. Oh shit! I forgot that we have the grandma voice. Oh, never mind. Don't worry about that, PG-12.
Brother.
This is my first day back on the job.
So we did the test on Delta last week, I think.
I do not remember it. Why'd that drop? Come on!
Yeah, if Iso's not here, pretty sure we've already done Tay. I think we did Chef Boy.
Chef Boy, I know they did with me.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
But I don't think that's a new one, right?
No, but it's just none of... we've stopped marking them as completed or not, so I just don't know where, like, what's been check marked and what hasn't. But we are 7, so...
No, I'm getting over here.
We will be starting the event shortly.
Oh, the girls! The girls! Okay, it's 4 o'clock. Does that mean we started or you want to do one more?
Yeah, I'm gonna, once I'm out of this spectate, head to a new lobby, relocate.
Oh my god, the girls came out and I thought I would have been handling with cat heads and car. Yo, she still had enough time.
You know what makes me upset about that super?
What?
It blocks, like it actually takes the hits for
Oh, for
Umbi
Alia?
Reflector.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It takes the hits for Umbi Reflector. Emigrit does not. And it makes me so upset.
It's okay. My reflector also works pretty well.
When is it gonna auto decrease the private slots to just whatever? We don't even need a why did I autopilot?
Yo, you want me to make the lava? You good?
I'm a pro. Okay, get in here, goober.
I'm waiting on you. I thought you made it.
Like, it technically does pharma, but you also, like, based on the comment, you said you didn't care. And also, we are just looking to match people of equal skill level. So, it's like...
TLDR, we want to make sure that, you know...
You got good matches one way or another.
I know you said advanced, but at the same time, what other advances are there that are not literally on? We gotta open your spectrum, your doors.
Alright, let's get this pinned. Get the old pins out of here. Don't need to clarify whether we're retail or beta anymore.
Are you sure about that? It says that we're on retail, but it feels like we're on beta.
But yeah, so up first we have, I think it was an open lobby. So we have Lucio versus an open lobby.
So you know what that means. Blake, get the hell out of this lobby. It's not your turn yet. The list was posted. Alright. Still not Lucio. Nobody can read. Someone get the fuck out of this lobby. Let's see. Oh, okay, it is Lucio. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Trying to gaslight.
I went to go check their whatchamacallit. To check their Steam profile. I didn't believe them because they're. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna hold it against you, Lucio. Is that your name? It would be something that Aki would have.
But also, open lobby, preferably someone newer to the game. And while we are waiting, I will go check on my dog because she is losing her mind and barking at someone. I'll be right back.
Also, gamers, I will know if you are a beginner or not. I literally like hawk, be like a hawk on all of you guys. And if worst comes to worst, I will bring out my Filia. My Filia is kind of nice. Maybe I bring out my Peacock. We'll see one of the two. Uh-oh. I'm mashing batones. It's 2 years new? No, it's not. New to the game as in first time ever playing new to the game would be more or less like, let me see. I'm assuming, I'll put it like this. I'll put it under 100 hours. Because I don't know how many hours Lucio has. So, if you got like under 100 hours, if you want to put it, come in, Zoe, you can. Oh, 22 hours? All right. Anybody under 22 hours would be quite nice. If you need the lobby, let me know and I will post it in. I will find out. He goes hard. It could also be that Lucia has other fighting game experience. I see that they're rivals of Etherfan. I respect it. Like that game makes money. This Skullgirls, yo. We basically, you know, like that meme, that one meme of like the McDonald's or whatever. That's literally what we are. You know, we're like wrapping up the papers and everything. Poverty at its finest. But yeah, any other beginners? Do we have any beginners? Because if nobody shows up by the time Lord Dunce shows up, I'm gonna smack one of y'all. You're not a beginner, Dario. Don't you gotta like an event to throw as well too? Now that PSN messed it up. I cannot believe PSN got smoked. Alright, still waiting. That's what I'm saying, Dario. The fact that it was even close, and the fact that they lost, still, I was like, bro, no shot. Oh my goodness gracious. Alright, where are my other beginners?
I see we don't have anyone showing up.
Alright, does that mean I gotta bring out my Filia? Alright.
Oh.
We got Octo. Alright, close enough. Alright, let's get it on. We got our two beginners.
Okay. Hopefully Octo is playing.
Octo should be playing their solo Veo.
It might be a bit rough. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll play it by ear right now. Okay, solo Bayo versus the Paraphilia Band. Oh my goodness gracious. Alright, anybody pick Dahlia stage? Of course not. Why would we? Alright, let's get it on. I hope it's JHP.
Yeah.
Counter hit. No, we didn't get the restand, so it's not gonna continue.
Yep. Jump heavy punch.
Alright, do we know how to throw the shots though? Okay, build up your hype. Oh, okay. Oh, it's a little too slow.
We're really struggling to deal with the
No,
big
too high, too high!
buttons.
Yeah, it's to delay that super a little bit more.
Not quite getting it confirmed. Octo gets the
Okay.
hit. A little bit of
Oh
chugging.
god! Oh god, the chug. Okay, he's building up the high. Okay, there you go. Let's see it. Oh, let's go. Oh, a little too fast. Okay, nice. Jumped over and punish. Not too good. This should be dead.
Yep.
Alright, half 3 high. No, that doesn't combo like that.
Was that blue bounce?
That was some type of bounce. I didn't see the blue. I'll be real. Pink. Now that's blue. Okay.
Progress. Big buttons, giant
Oh,
stuff.
too far. Oh, we missed the tech to get the pickup afterwards.
Okay.
To 4 tech. Nope.
Pressed on wake up, but pressed into armor.
Yeah. If
Okay.
they would have continued pressing on the on their buttons, they would have broke the armor in time.
Yeah. Can definitely
worse,
see.
Yeah, we're still learning.
So I'll do it now, but also do it at the end of the set. Exclamation point wiki will point you to the Mizumi wiki for this game. It's this community's version of Dust Loop, basically. Phenomenal resource, has a ton of good combos to get yourself familiar with your characters. Just a thing to slowly work on. Not gonna gatekeep and say you have to have these to play. It's just if you're looking to improve, this is one of the first steps.
Yeah, it's
We'll
not
point
like,
you there.
you don't gotta be like, yo, you need to practice 50 hours before you can jump online type thing.
Check out of the corner, I like that a lot.
Oh, nice, we got the pickup. No, too fast.
Yeah. And it looks like Lucio is kind of just struggling to deal with neutral for the big air buttons. Which is kind of difficult to do.
Grip. I heard the button too. I'm surprised we went straight into super. We could have picked up.
I could not tell you, Dasher. I would have to look at the wiki. So if the wiki doesn't have it, I don't have it.
Yeah, I think that's who usually maintains it. It's like Conroy and mainly Conroy, isn't it?
I mean, it's like Conroy, Gelato, a lot of people. I think Amy also.
Yeah,
Hey.
and besides, like, especially right now that she's actually released and now it's confirmed that, you know, she didn't get any other changes. I
Yeah.
think they're gonna slowly start rolling that out.
They're probably working on it. Yeah, so for Lucio, it's definitely a lot of just getting familiar with your characters in the first place. Another thing to get familiar with in this game, I don't think I've seen you push block all that much. When you are put into block stun, you can press 2 punch buttons at the same time, and it will push people away from you. And it doesn't cost any meter in this game. Completely free. It just puts you into a set amount of block stun. So, oftentimes push block is going to be a really good tool to just get people off you, especially at earlier levels where people's pressure isn't anywhere near as refined. We're
Yeah,
getting...
especially push blocking against Bayo is gonna help you out in
Yes.
the long run too. 'Cause you let him stay on you? Oh, this man's gonna run all over you. Okay. Oh, we missed the pickup.
Very good habit. I
Oh my
like
God,
that
I
you were
cannot
checking out of the
believe
corner. Tech back into the corner
into
there. Not ready for the
Knock, knock,
chair.
knock.
Press on wake up.
Okay, the overhead. All right, let's see it. Cooking. Too fast. All right, punish. No, it's too slow.
Yeah. So those
Oh,
2 big arm buttons are armored. but they are also incredibly unsafe on block.
Yes, so they either have to spend super for it, or later down the line, like if they have hype and they're close to the chair, they can cancel it with one hype. But that's like higher up there right now.
Yeah,
we'll get there when we get there.
Not the biggest thing to be worrying about in the current state.
Yeah. Alright. Ooh, no chair recall? Okay.
I think we're trying to get giant step.
No, I think we're trying to charge. Oh wow, I didn't think it's still launched.
Good.
Oh, nice. Alright, third game. It's fly flat. October.
5 this evening. Hey, okay, so I'm mainly focusing on Lucio because Octo, you have another set coming up as well. Might give you a little bit of advice based off this. I'll probably just tack it on to the next one you play. But so for Lucio, it's, I mean, first and foremost, it's a lot of character familiarity, kind of just feeling out what you like to press in neutral. I don't know if you're comfortable with charge motions yet. We haven't really seen you do much of that with Parasol. You've been getting the brasses down though.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Hold on. Maybe they're getting it now?
Yeah. And
okay,
so
I think...
yeah, shots are quite a strong neutral tool if you're a Street Fighter player. I'm not entirely sure what characters you're used to or games you're used to, but she's this game's Guile. Pretty reasonable neutral buttons, charge projectiles, attack into the corner. Yeah, so nice. Unsafe on block, you punish it.
Ooh, nice.
A little bit of an awkward route. We're playing.
Or...
Didn't get our charge.
Okay, there you go. Did we get her out? Or are we gonna stay in? KOF style. That it!
Yes.
I was not expecting that to straight away.
It was in the perfect spot.
I thought if anything it was gonna trade. Oh, did you get the restand?
Yeah, I would have thought I would have traded too. We got the low. One thing I'm noticing a lot for you, Lucio, is on Wake Up. Oh, okay, now you're gonna prove me a liar right there. You are up backing the majority of it. And you're kind of getting caught low a lot because of it. It's good to see that you adapted. But in general, mixing up your options in defense, quite strong, because if you get predictable, obviously, you'll just get hit every time. Jump light kick, very strong button. Keep doing that.
There you go, nice!
Really good crouch light too. Unfortunate drop.
Oh no, you don't have the meter.
Counter hit. Yeah, always gotta be watching out for the chair.
There we go. Alright, uno mas. Let's see how this last one goes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so think of the things I've seen your Parasol do. You really like jump heavy punch. I've also seen you do dash up low. I will warn you about doing only jump heavy punch. It's a big button, but if it's the only thing that hits, your opponent can actually tech as soon as they hit the ground. So if you want to be able to combo after it, you need to hit another button first. So you'll usually see Parasols be pressing jump light punch or jump light kick, sometimes jump medium punch before pressing it. Because like that, they're teching out of it before you can actually get the hit. It's a blue bounce instead of a purple bounce, which is basically saying one of them lets... Purple bounce lets you OTT, blue bounce does not. Probably going a little bit too in-depth. Very good. Oh, not quite. That combo's a little bit finicky, I feel it. Getting caught low.
Oh, they do know.
It's getting thrown out of incoming. Getting caught. Wake up. Tech out of the corner. Love to see it.
Oh, nice, nice. No,
Cancelled a little too early.
Nice, and you got your shirt back 3 high. Nice blocks.
Yeah, and so that's a situation again where I'd recommend push blocking. Blocking the chair and push blocking is very good for you. Block this, get the counter hit. Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Definitely looks like you have a general idea of what you like to be doing in neutral. They are relatively simple game plans, but I mean, you have 20 hours. Like you're learning what buttons you still like to press. So far, most of the habits look pretty good. I would say try and do IAD light a little bit more on Philia, so her jump light punch is pretty solid for that. You really like pressing the heavies, which are a little bit slower to come out, and so sometimes you get caught before they actually do anything. Mess around with her lights. Their jump light kick is a really good air-to-air. Jump light punch is a really good one to land on people with, as well as just doing a dash up low. It's pretty solid. Parasol, a little bit more charges. Her jab is really strong. You can stay grounded a bit more. I saw you do a little bit of 2LK. It's a great button to be using. 2 medium punch is also like chef's kiss. It's one of your best neutral tools. So try and throw that in. It's the same side mid, but it just stuffs a lot of buttons. It stuffs a lot of approaches. Throw it out there. You'll kind of get a feel for why a lot of Parasols just press that button. Band was looking good. Band's had a pretty simple game plan, but a very effective one. Jump light kick is a really good button to be abusing. I like that you were using it. You were pressing 2LK at good spots. His jab is also pretty good, especially if people are landing on him in the air. Other than that, I might encourage you to tone down the brass in neutral, but it's not that big a deal currently. Those are kind of just suggestions for maybe steering how you want to be looking at your characters and what buttons you want to be using. Overall, you'll figure out what feels good to you and what doesn't, so that's just you playing more time, or putting more time into the game. I, again, will direct you to the wiki. It's that command in chat. It's the Mizumi wiki for Skullgirls. If you are looking to start learning better combos, that is where I would send you. They have a phenomenal list of combos ranging from just little blurbs that are not full undizzy into like a beginner friendly full undizzy combo, and then you can get into relatively optimal stuff before you need to start really searching. So it's a good resource to use as a beginner all the way through getting close to an advanced player. Highly recommend spending some time on there for your characters. It also has like all the frame data, everything else you'd expect. So if you have a question about how unsafe is this?
What are some other B&Bs that I can do?
Yeah, it's a resource I cannot recommend highly enough. The community put a lot of effort into it, and it shows. And they're still currently working on it. But yeah, that, and then think about starting to try and push block on defense a little bit. Get used to trying to time 2 punches. If you're worried about, or don't try and worry about like push blocking the first or second hit. It's not that important. Once people have committed to their mediums and their block strings, and you'll kind of get a feel for people extending that far, just push block them. It's usually like the 3rd or 4th hit. Gets them off you, buys you a bit of time. It's a good defensive habit to start getting into. But But yeah, I mean, and all of that is kind of just bit of basics to SG, and I think you'll start picking them up just as you keep playing more. And so the biggest thing for you is just make sure you like the game. Play it, have fun. The time spent will just end up giving you better play, and the more you enjoy it, pretty much the faster that improvement will come. Don't treat it like a job, treat it like a game. It's kind of just fall into place.
Yeah.
On that note, unless you have anything else to say, Ruby.
No, I think that's more or less it.
Yeah. And we'll get Octo, and I said Blade, I think. Yeah. I mean, you're at 20 hours in a game. It's like, you're getting a feel for everything. Every fighting game has its own little garbage you need to get used to, and SG more so than all of the others because it has a combination of so many unique-ish systems. So you'll get there.
Okay.
And if you have any like specific questions, feel free to just ping, especially like JP or I. Usually most of the mod commentary are pretty good about answering random questions, or just ask on the server and someone will
we'll help answer it if it's not us.
The server exists. The server exists to help people learn the game, so use it as a resource.
And if they don't let me know, I'll beat them up.
All right. Got Blade playing the full trio. Oh, that's a punish, Octo. Blade.
Oh, okay. No, we can't do it like that.
Yeah, get caught by the sweep.
Alright, nice.
Oh,
we didn't block.
Yeah, just got hit by it. Had a push blocked a little too early.
Yeah, you're not winning that one.
Tech out of the corner, press armor.
It's not gonna kill.
We don't have hype, do we?
I think you get your chair though. Yeah, you only had one hype.
Oh!
I'm chair my beloved. Okay.
Cheeky little frame drop. No nice and easy way for you to get Dahlia in, so yeah.
Get your hype. Oh lord. Oh my god, you still got hit in the air. That's hilarious. Okay, oh, too far!
Yeah. There, I would be pressing Jump Light Punch. Jump Light Kick is something I feel like I'll only really see used as part of a mix-up tool. Jump Light Punch has her phenomenal neutral light.
Okay, we're out.
Right.
Oh, I just got to realize we're using the granny voice.
Alright, yeah, I'm struggling to deal with Jump Heavy Punch. So yeah, depending on how you want to deal with it, you can kind of just avoid it and then make them either land in which you run at them as they're landing, or you try and get there before it would come out. And so, slash box out, because you have some characters with some pretty big buttons, specifically Parasol and Dahlia. So Dahlia Jump Medium Punch goes just about as far. So if you're spacing, you can usually kind of just swing that. Parasol tends to need to be there first. She doesn't actually outspace it, but she has Jump Light Punch or Jump Light Kick, which are far-reaching and very quick. So if you think they're gonna go for it, yeah. And then you also have the anti-air assist, so...
Oh, nice grip.
You can call that. That's unfortunate. Although, keep in mind, you didn't have your egret, so unless you know the toss or L-shot confirm, you would not have gotten a conversion off of that throw in the first place.
Oh, you had it, you didn't believe. Okay, Aura.
I know we've talked about this a little bit, Octo, and I saw this in the previous set as well. Be careful about always extending into Wolf Shoot as part of your block string.
Yeah, if they know better,
You die.
like you definitely explode. I caught you on your dash.
Oh!
Oh, you didn't believe? I think you're getting hit. Yeah.
Yeah. You had the right
Yeah,
idea,
fly,
you just
so-
didn't quite follow up fast enough.
Oh, you still could have continued. Funny enough.
What?
He was still in time. Yeah, not too far for the chair. Pick it up. Too high.
Oh,
yeah.
getting the shot
You
afterwards.
forgot to pick up?
Yeah. The Dahlia is a new addition, so it's definitely...
Don't mind the two of us. I've never touched Dahlia.
Oh, that's a punish. Nice. Yeah, so this is more matchup specific, but Beowulf doing any blitzer, if they go to the ground for the second blitzer, they will always be minus.
Well, they're all minus, but it's depending on how minus.
So it's almost always going to be your turn, so you can usually just press jab afterwards if they're close enough. Or you can press a further away button, just know if they're far enough away and you press a slow button, they won't armor. But that's getting more into mind games. The third one, if they do a third one that's not EX, so EX will like have the hype sound effect go off, and it'll have the same frame data as the second blitzer. If they do a raw third blitzer, you are killing them afterwards. They cannot do any more, and the frame data is atrocious. Yeah, Koala, you're signed up. It's on the weekly matchups.
Oh, you're on the forum, yeah. It's like I can't remember right now. I know that I saw them on one of the forums. I can't remember which.
Okay.
They're definitely throwing out care.
Get the tears out.
Oh, too slow. Too punish.
But yeah, Parasol in this matchup, you're kind of looking to get tears out. You need to be careful. Oh,
Using counter.
they might be doing medium kick assist on a special cat.
You think so?
I mean, that's the only way to do it outside of running counter assist, but I don't know if that's what they're running or not. Don't know if I've seen the Dahlia assist.
I think we saw it once.
I can't remember what it was. But yeah, so
Oh, nice.
you're playing two zoner-ish characters. What in the world? You don't really need to be the one approaching the Beowulf. You're kind of holding your ground, slowly retreating, shooting projectiles, making it awkward for him to walk at you. You can always change the pace and go in, but I would not recommend having your baseline game plan be approaching the Beowulf, because it's a scary prospect.
Yep. Oh,
Bless. Oh,
thank you.
yep, that's not gonna punish. If you press a light there, he'll punish. Because they can tech afterwards, so you need to be pretty quick with the punish.
Alright, Octa, do you know how to get around this zoning? Let's see.
Looks like it.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, yeah, so instead of approaching there, I would recommend
you
just
got
pressing 2 medium punch, because 2 medium punch would stuff any of their jumps, and then they'd be forced to hold the tier detonating during it as well. And that usually lets you just get another shot off. Yada yada yada. That's kind of how Parasol likes to play off her shots, especially without assists. You force them to block it. If you have one on them, and they didn't necessarily block it, you press a good button that's a disjoint that also detonates it, usually 2 medium punch. You get another tier on them, and then you can, from there, base your pressure afterwards. And that's getting a little bit more advanced into Parasol things, but I think it's around the time where you should start thinking about recognizing, oh, I got a tier. This should change my... This should change how I'm going to be doing things. Tiers are really good defensive walls. So getting a shot on them, or if you place like an L-toss in between you and them, detonating it will prevent a lot of approaches. And I mean, not the special, but just using a manual normal. So more often than not, one of your medium punches, depending on how fast you need it. Yeah. That being said, I hope you're not listening to the stream and just while you're playing, because that is quite distracting.
Yeah.
Is that just counter assist? It might be.
I think it's counter assist.
It would explain why we also don't see it in neutral.
Yeah.
So I talked about this earlier, Blade, but if you want to have an assist with utility and still be able to do that on alpha counter, you can choose a normal. It might be a little bit slower startup, so I don't know exactly how much it changes it being on alpha counter, but you can try doing 2 medium kick. Trap assist is pretty solid. I personally like it a lot. And then you can alpha counter and then special cancel out of your normal that you alpha countered into. Again, I don't know how much slower that will be than just raw alpha counter.
Oh, you could have supered that.
But food for thought.
Okay, take the knockdown.
Block this.
Oh, this long!
Unfortunate.
Alright, where is your chair? I think it's behind you.
It is. Man.
Yeah.
Get the recall off.
Ready?
Well shot. I'm glad to see this is your default.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you ever do anything other than L shot, it's usually pretty easy for them to arm you. Nice.
I remember for H, but I wasn't sure for M if you're gonna make it.
For M, you need to be a little bit faster.
Yeah.
Snipe wins you the game there, I think.
It was definitely. Oh, you're taking the chip.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good.
Oh no!
No! Jumped right into it. No. Oh, BM, yo, T.O.
Why did I go in? True. I mean, there you were backed up against a corner, so it kind of makes sense to fight aggressively for space. Sometimes it wins, sometimes it doesn't. That's definitely the riskier option compared to holding your ground, trying to get another shot on them, force them to block a little bit more. In case you are unaware, when Bayo does not have his chair, normals actually deal chip as well. So in a situation like that, when chip is a threat, keep that in mind.
You can just do your favorite block string and he will just explode.
Also, funnily enough, because that counter is throw vulnerable, because Octo likes doing low shoot and block strings, alpha countering into that is a little sketchy. I will put that in your head.
You're probably better off doing, if you're gonna AC, you're probably better off with ban to AC. So at least that way you can E-break since you're running 8.
Yep. I will also remind you that your 5 light kick is a low. It's a little bit strange for this game, but that's how Dahlia works. Doing 2LK in this matchup is pretty good, especially without them having chair on, though. Extra chip.
Oh, you got crossed.
And, what's it called? It breaks armor, because it's a multi-hit.
Remember, you also have EX versus 2 of those blitzers, now that you have height behind you.
Yep.
Missed the chair.
Again, if they ever go for the 3rd raw blitzer, not an EX one, run after them because just know it's your turn. You were very likely going to get a heavy counter hit there.
Octo, see me after class. I gotta give you some. I gotta give you some routes. One thing for sure for Octo, we need to update those routes because especially if you're gonna be doing blitzer a lot, it's gonna take a lot of your undizzy
OTG.
like for well, not only just that, but it's also your undizzy way faster. So you'll like almost get like no damage.
Yeah. So Ruby's got routes. Like Ruby mentioned, I would also recommend throwing in EX blitzers because, as mentioned before, the frame data is a lot better. You were doing Bayo things, you were spacing air buttons pretty well. Funny jump heavy punch was doing a lot of work for you. Again, brought up, cut down a little bit on the wolf shoot and block strings. Other than that, I'm trying to think about what else we saw. Also, what you were asking about. Unfortunately,
BRB.
Okay. Unfortunately, you weren't on defense for too much of that set, so I can't necessarily focus on that. You were push blocking, things were looking good. You never really got threatened with Parasol or Dahlia high-low shenanigans. Would just keep working on playing the games, getting used to using a couple more Bayo buttons. Although you're using a lot of the right ones in the right places. I'm trying to think of what else. Do you like that you knew to arm specific Parasol projectiles, and you were also waiting for not L-shot? At least I hope you were, because that's the right thing to do in that matchup. At least full screen. Mid-screen, you can still actually on reaction punish L-shot with arm. And it makes that matchup kind of obnoxious. Showing you're willing to do that is pretty important. And learn some pickups after arm. I don't know if I saw you get them consistently. There are pickups for just about every range you can actually hit people with arm. And so that's also things to ask Ruby about. I think that's about all for you, Octo. If you have any other questions, please ask and I'll get to them. But I'll move on to Dasher. I think that one of the biggest things was we kind of just ran into the Bayo and especially into the jump heavy punch buttons. This is starting to go into a bit more intermediate concepts, but one of the things you can do is try and chicken block it if you're finding trouble working around it otherwise. So if you purposefully jump before you get hit with it, making sure you're blocking so you can like up forward and then hold 4 as quickly as possible, and if you do it right, you're blocking. As long... No, yeah, you should. And the way block stun in this game works in the air is it's land cancelable. So if you up forward into it, block it, you can also up back if you want to stay safer, for the record. All jumps work, you just need to make sure you're blocking. You get hit with it, barely into the air, you land cancel the recovery, it's your turn. If you do it well enough, you get a counter hit. It's pretty hard to do that consistently, but even if you're not getting the counter hit, it's still your turn. You're manufacturing plus frames. You cannot land cancel with push block because push block halts your air momentum. So if you block it and then push block, you immediately forego the chance to chicken block it. And again, this is a bit more of an intermediate topic. It's just a suggestion. It's something to get in your head because you're starting to approach intermediate getting-ish there, and it's also just... It's hard to deal with Bayo jump heavy punch otherwise. Because as I mentioned prior, you can try and contest it, especially with Dahlia or Para. Para, you need to be there quicker with jump light punch or jump light kick. Dahlia, you need to be there quicker with jump light punch. Or you can try and outspace it with jump medium punch. I think you might win that. And obviously also, if you're ever in the range for jump heavy kick, they're not in range to be pressing jump heavy punch in the first place, but jump heavy kick is where you want to be as Dahlia. So that's your neutral tool. Yeah. If you are running specifically counter assist, I don't know if I'd recommend that, especially for a beginner. I saw you were trying to alpha counter into it. It's a bit of a gamble, and as I mentioned earlier, if you wanted to run a functional neutral assist, you can still just run Bear Trap, and you can alpha counter, and while you're alpha countering input the counter of your choice. And so you'll special cancel into the counter. Again, I don't know if it will mess with how quickly the counter actually comes out. Yeah, it doesn't quite work like a DP assist, unfortunately. She's not great for that. If you wanted to change things up, you could run a Dahlia shot and run Pillar, because Pillar's a relatively strong DP assist. And then obviously you always have Beat Extend, but you're running Train, so that's up to you. It's getting more into the nitty-gritty of team stuff, so I'll stop trying to... I'll drop that topic, because that's not necessarily what we need to be focusing on for beginners. Other than that, yeah, I think it was just a lot of, you don't necessarily need to be the one going in, especially versus a solo, but just in general, your characters like to play a zoner-ish game outside of band, obviously. And so you can afford to be patient, just get a projectile out, see how they respond, move accordingly, rinse, repeat, and then start checking them with buttons once you notice how they're dealing with your projectiles. You have some good disjoints, you have some good grounded buttons, you have really good air buttons on all those characters. And I think the more you play them, especially Dahlia, because I know she's new, you'll get used to what you want to be doing in neutral. Yeah, so on Alpha Counter, you just come in doing that move. So all of the normal cancel rules apply. So this is why Alpha Counter Dash is a thing, because Alpha Counter Dash lets you do anything you can casual a dash into. You can jab, you can do, well, I mean, you can do any of your buttons. You can still go into a special because it's neutral. You can super. And so same thing, if you have a normal special, you can, or you have a normal assist, you can alpha counter and then special cancel that, or you can super cancel that. If you run a special as your assist, you can still alpha counter in and super. So like Ruby was saying earlier, with E-Break, or with A-Train, you can alpha counter in an E-Break, or you can just alpha counter in and start SSJ. Like, band alpha counters are incredibly strong. So always keep that in mind. I really like to do alpha counter into Squiggly because I run Cremation, and I can straight up just stancel out of it. Yeah, you just come in with full control of the character, doing whatever move your assist was. It's a very strong tool. Other than that, I'm trying to think. Because it was just a lot of not being able to deal with big Bayo boxy buttons, and kind of just either running into getting hit or not quite knowing what to do out of the corner. And corner versus Beowulf is kind of just, you can press to contest. I tend to push block them out, and then fight for space there after that. We can have you fight Pharma ISO, because that's probably what the matchup is going to be anyway. If you don't mind, at least. Sorry I talked so long at the end of that. I'm glad to see Koraizan is already here. We'll get the next people in. Talked for a little bit too long. Apologies. Koraizan versus Cyanide. Now we wait. They're here. I'll take a second. Alright, but yeah. I'll just make sure I'm not missing anything. No. Okay. Ready? We are in. I did see. I'm not super invested in Rivals. I kind of want to play the base game more, or I should play the base game more, but not the biggest platform fighter gamer. On that note, we have a Dahlia mirror. Let's see what we've got cooking. Pressing buttons, figuring out block strings, starting to zone each other. Moving, get some reloads. Oh, no. Gotta get used to keeping track of which ammo we got. The laser beams are a lot better in the air. In general for Dahlia, you will more often than not see people shoot them from the air than on the ground. Are we keeping track of the fact we don't got ammo? And we got Fuqua BMBs. Let's go. Nope, not keeping track of ammo. Reload. Oh! Yeah, getting cut overhead. Unfortunately, couldn't quite find our way out. Oh. You can follow that up with the second stun heavy punch and get her confirmed there. Not keeping track of IPS. Really good thing to be looking for is Annie. Really a very strong reactive tool. Finishing the whole combo. While Anti-Sweep does go under the projectiles, I would encourage you more often than not to jump over them rather than go under them. I think you can 2 LP and also get under them, and that's a lot less committal than Sweep. Instead of doing raw tag, consider, if you want to swap out into Dahlia and get her level 3 in, doing a Annie super and then D8 Sing into level 3. If you're unaware, the super you DHC into will always cost 1 meter less than its actual cost, unless it's a level 1 super. So level 1s will always cost level 1, but if you're DHing into a level 2 or level 3... Oh, yeah. I wasn't even watching the time, yeah. You can still afford to do it. But yeah, keeping track of time, understanding when you need to go in. It's pretty important. Timeouts aren't super common in this game, but I'm a relatively patient player, so I start getting down there to the point where time's a factor, and then you have players like Stuff or Tyrone where they will try and time you out straight up. So getting used to watching the clock always, it's a good habit. General base fighting game shenanigans. And here we see why usually you don't want to extend your block strings past your mediums. You went into your launcher and you were unsafe on hit. Or unsafe on block. So you got punished for it. Just like that. That was unsafe. Unfortunately, we did not get the punish afterwards. We're not quite ready. Not keeping track of our shots. So for that Fuhua route, to stabilize it, especially on the smaller characters, usually you want to delay the second light kick a little bit. It helps them fall a bit more, which makes the 2 medium kick easier. The super is a relatively new addition. You can hit the assist to put them in a little bit of stun. If you snap them, they will leave. If you snap the character that's on screen, all 3 of them will leave. Meter dump. Kill. Oh no! We got Shadow B&Bs. Good. I think y'all are both getting kind of close to moving on up. Love to see it. One of the biggest things that's missing right now is just implementing a little bit of mix. Find one. Yeah, I mean, honestly, at the start. Find one reset point you enjoy, and then just kind of figure out how that works on all the cast. Bonus points if you can learn a burst bait for it as well. Some of the next things to be looking at for y'all. Oh. Buttons, climb assists, we're stuck in the corner. How are we gonna fight our way out? First there. We set up our teleport pad and then just walked right on top of it. Not entirely sure how that's supposed to help us. Oh, went for the teleport. It's kind of sketchy doing it with them that close. Now we're both shooting our projectiles. So, in general, raw tagging is not a great way to get your characters in. They're somewhat niche reversal options. Oh, that's not gonna actually give you a pickup. I think you could have done a full route there and then detonated it at the end. But raw tags are typically very unsafe in this game. So using them as your main way of getting your characters in and out is something I'd discourage. Finding ways to get your characters in via safe DHCs. So in the case of Black Dahlia, her level 3, obviously it's kind of expensive to spend all 3 bars to get her in, but depending on the range, you can also just DHC into barrel.
Okay, I have returned, but I think I might have to dip, so I don't think I'll be able to do advanced testing today.
Understood.
Maybe. Well, add me if by the time it's done, and maybe I'll be free. But right now it looks like I have to dip.
No worries.
So I won't crash the. I'll just stay in here so that way the lobby doesn't break. But yeah, add me if anything.
Okay. Understood.
Sorry, guys.
Bye. But yeah. Oh, dashed up, gave each other a hug. We're kind of just flailing some buttons, playing some footsies. Push blocking people off of us, getting shots out, dashing forward. It's a little bit close for pressing jump heavy kick. Cyanide. Good punish. One nice thing with Dahlia is you can always cancel into L shot. It will not be plus, but you will be safe. I don't know. It doesn't necessarily matter if it's a true block string right now. Just snap them in. I agree. Really good decision. You could have also just committed to one more shot. And gone for a chip out, but dash up low works. Cyanide, you're stuck in the corner. I don't know if you intentionally frosted that assist. It's a really good habit to be in either way. It holds them on the screen, which prevents them from leaving, which means they can't call an assist again. Good jump light kick. Unfortunate drop. H-shot is probably going to be kind of hard for Dahlia to deal with in this matchup. You might be able to throw it out a little bit more. Okay. Gotta be push blocking a little bit earlier there. Unfortunately, what happened is you push blocked right as they canceled into the next move. And so they hit you right after the push block, which actually stops pushing them back. Kind of an unfortunate timing. You'll start to get a feel for when you do and don't want to push block. Because the goal is to keep them away. And if you do it during really quickly hitting multi-moves, or if you do it towards the end of one normal, where they're going to cancel into the other pretty shortly after, they'll likely be a lot more sticky than you expect them to be. And it will be a lot harder to actually get them off of you. Avoided it, get the counter hit. Full combo. Meter is a somewhat valuable resource in this game, so having a route that uses it before your combo ends is a little terrifying. Because do you know how to salvage it if you're not spending that meter? Brick stunned into a DP assist. Oh, and again to you, Corazon. Would definitely recommend spending bar rather than raw tagging. Because raw tagging leaves you liable to lose half of a character's life bar, and then they just get snapped out, they bring in the character who's about to die anyway. And so you're doing something that can be punished with you still losing the character you wanted to save, and more. There's a time and a place, and that is rarely. Because as you see here, that is also very punishable. You've been on both sides of the raw tag interactions. And if you're doing it without a specific goal in mind, more often than not, you're probably just going to get shot for it. Counter hit. Oh, didn't let every part of the medium punch rock. So it got an awkward cancel and dropped. Oh, yeah. You're not going to punish that, unfortunately. Oh, you can punish that. A little bit slow, unfortunate. And crossed up. Keep an eye on time. You've got to get in. I don't think it's enough time now. Yeah. Okay. So for Corazon, one of the biggest things it seems like on defense is just getting more used to push block habits. We're kind of stuck in the corner. Oh, not necessarily even in the corner. We're just stuck holding a lot more than we necessarily need to. And we can just push block and reset neutral. It's a little bit weird to get used to. Play around with when you're trying to push block and think about when you do and if it works or not, and then log that away, and you'll slowly start building up better push block habits. It's vital for defense in this game to just be able to get people off of you. Both of y'all looked like you understood what you wanted to be doing with your characters. It might have been a little bit slow at times, but you're getting used to it. Looks like most of y'all had full routes for your characters. Phenomenal. The next step, once you're a bit comfy with your normal routing, is, again, find a reset point. The wiki does have some resets. It doesn't have the largest selection, depending on the characters, and especially the Black Dahlia section, because she's new and just now on retail, is probably not flushed out in the slightest. So those might be slightly harder to come by, but if you ask around in this server, I'm sure people will point you towards the tweets that have the link, because they're not all collected on the Mizumi wiki. And when I say look for resets, that is where I would direct you first and foremost, because for most of your characters, you'll see where the resets are and where you can fit them into your routes. And I think once you guys start getting that, definitely probably intermediate, because game plan was looking solid, y'all were getting projectiles out, you were dealing with each other's neutral. Block strings could be cleaned up a little bit. Y'all extend a little bit too far. There is occasional heavy usage on block, especially without using an assist or a special to actually cover for yourself doing it. I would actually ask around Cyanide, because people have found some pretty strong vortexes for Black Dahlia. She's got some solid mix with some good front-loaded damage for it. Yeah, I'll actually... At Hens... At Chef. I think those are the two I know. So I pinged them in the SG related channel. I'm not entirely sure when they'll be able to respond, but keep an eye out for... not Eliza's, Black Dahlia's. Black Dahlia. Oops. Yeah, keep an eye out for that channel for the mix there. But yeah, it's just something to add to your game plan. The more you play, the more you'll get used to that, and also just improvising mix on the fly in the middle of your routes. Game ends up being somewhat fast-paced on hit, and so being able to facilitate that yourself is a good place to be. Some of the biggest issues I saw for Cyanide, I think, were not keeping track of what shots you had and how many you had left. There were definitely dropped combos because you, or just getting hit neutral because you didn't realize you were out of shots. And so that's just awareness, getting used to playing the characters. Annie could have probably gotten a couple more H crescents out, but I do like the fact that you were just looking for them to shoot a projectile and Pillar of Creation them. It's a great thing to be looking for. I'm not saying too much I'd complain about on either side. I addressed the small issues I had and where I'd direct you next. Y'all are definitely on the cusp of probably where we consider intermediate. So just keep playing. I think y'all will get there soon. Yeah. If y'all have other questions, or if you want more advice on specific things, this is true for everyone. Ping me with a question and a timestamp, and I'll gladly answer any questions you have about specific things, or if you want me to just look over again at a later time and focus specifically on you, can do that if you are not happy with the amount of advice you got. But overall, I mean, y'all are looking good, on the right track. Hope it helps. And again, if there's any other questions, feel free to ask, and I'll get on it either during the stream or sometime afterwards. This is a resource for y'all, and so if I'm not helping y'all, I'm not doing my job right, and I'm wasting everyone's time. Do not be afraid to ask. Asking is where all of the rest gets filtered out. On that note, we have straight versus an open lobby. Yeah, knowing your turn is a bit rough. You get used to understanding when people are kind of overextending, and because y'all are also getting towards intermediate, I would start thinking about abusing push block guard cancel. It's in the tutorial. It's also probably on the wiki, but the short of it is after you push block, you are immediately actionable. So if you push block early in a block string and they stay on you, you can do a reversal right out of push block stun, and that will catch people off guard. You can also press other options. Yeah, Shoes, J-Dog, this is probably a better matchup. I was gonna say Koala. I don't think I want you to match up with Straight because don't think it would be the best place to learn for them. Especially last week, I think they also got matched up with a pretty hard opponent, so they want to be able to focus on more than defense. So I think this will be better. Yeah. And then if you want to get really frisky with it for PBGC, you start understanding you don't always need to do an invincible startup move. Depending on the timing, you can do like jab, you can do a like low crush. Most of the time it'll just be jab or an armored option, but yeah. Experiment with buttons you can press after PBGC if you're not actually getting them off you with the push block. Alright, let's see what's up. Annie's got to run down this Valentine. Good low, not believing in it, not quite getting the confirm. Heavy counter hit. What do we do with it? Immediately into mix. It's really good incoming. Getting mashed on. How are we playing defense? Are they gonna run Oki? They are. Oh! Fortunate drop. I would highly encourage you to be running away shoes. Robo excels at that. Being close to Annie is terrifying. But we were mixing. Okay. First bait. Not actually getting the counter hit punish, but still getting the trip card. She's still not dead. And this is the danger of constantly running pressure. Understand that this is a risk that comes with the territory. Didn't get her push block, unfortunate. Pressed medium punch. It's not what we want to be pressing there, and I think you know that. So I'm curious what you wanted to get instead. Blocking all of this. Just jumping over them with your assist call straight. Good pressure. This is so sketchy. Okay, you know how to bail and just keep it simple. DHC into level 3, you have a whole string afterwards if you want. Very good awareness. Love to see it. Love to see it. Also, still talking about the previous matchup, you can M-shot the sweep. You can also just snipe her for it. She'll probably commit to Stinger, but you'll both get tagged, and the Parasol recovers first. I don't think you get a full conversion, but you can just snipe her. If she doesn't go into Stinger and you just counter hit her for it close enough to you, you will get the conversion. Oh no. Oh, unfortunate drop. Simple mix, overhead, catch the backdash. Shoes is kind of getting caught like a decent bit. Cross under, messed up the route, and gets caught pressing by jump medium punch. Throw incoming. Pressure into overhead. Mix, understood we were out of Endizzy. Jump cancel on the assist, I agree. Not quite able to confirm that into a happy birthday. They can block after that, but you keep it safe. That's a really scary place to beam. Oh man. Really aggressive with the sweeps, but we kind of need to be. You don't like being the one forced to approach as Robo, but kind of just are. Not believing in that hit. This will win. Oh, but it didn't cancel fast enough. Now we go. Yeah, that's the thing about cat heads. If you're not doing something block into it, it's gonna be hard. But don't know if this kills because of ratio. Car into beam to chip them out. I agree. Okay. So far, I'm not seeing major mistakes for Street. I haven't been hard focusing on it, but I don't think I've seen them do much of the air dash habits I've talked with them about previously, so that's also good to see. Not quite getting the confirm. How are you going to keep them in the corner? You let them out. Ran under while they went over. Unfortunate. They're kind of scrambling a neutral. Got tagged overhead. I don't actually see your Annie go for that many anti-airs. I don't feel like, anyway. She's two of the best anti-airs in the game with 2 LP and 2 heavy punch. For the air throw. Oh, there's the 2 LP. That was really interesting. Oh, salvaged it. Not quite. Mashed on. Baited. Yeah, keeping those stable is somewhat difficult. Gotta put a little bit more time into them, it looks like. If you want to set up that incoming, the monster needs to be not as far into the corner. You gotta back up a little bit more. Oh. Push block to the middle hit, so she stays in, gets thrown. Beam. Now the Robo's running forward. Straight is also getting hit by the Robo in neutral a lot, which is interesting. DBGC, interesting. Oh. Pillar of Creation. Carry on. All of that red life. Oh, why did she fall out? This still won't kill, don't spend all the meter. Yeah. Well, that was a little bit interesting. Yep. Calling your assist when it's that low. Oof. Pain. Very good awareness straight. Yeah. You know, they have to hold all that, and if they burst, you can just chip them out. Well done. Air throws, calling our beam into getting a hit. Going for air jump light kicks. Love to see it. Throwing up to him. They are starting to just block a little high, because that seems to be the main thing you do in that exact spot. Try doing, when you start recognizing that, try mixing it up, doing double low. 2LK, 2MK. They've done cross up every time, and we've gotten hit every time. Calling an assist on defense is scary, especially when it's not a DP assist. That setup, at least on Valentine, I've seen it miss a lot. Go into the lab and see if it works on her, or if you need to do something else. And if it works on her, figure out how you need to clean it up. Because consistently dropping that has been a pain point. Oh, that was quite good defense. Fortunately got opened up towards the end. 2LK? What are we doing in the corner? Trying to bait a reversal, and then just a little bit of a scramble. We came out on top. Oh. I think you can try and Fugazi Knuckle the Falling Corpse and get more corner to carry. If you want to be in the corner. I know some doubles don't. Okay, we're not finishing these combos, but Shoes is also just not blocking. Oop. Oh wait, why did I ready up? Ignore that. Clicked the wrong button. Trying to collect my thoughts for the like wrap up towards the end. Script. That's not gonna work because of the assist. No, we are still doing the up back air dash a little bit. Okay, we're pressing 2LP, and she's above us. Once you start to get a feel for how they're committing to things, Valentine has some pretty good landing buttons. So 2LP won't always win. We've seen it trade a couple times. The thing that will more consistently win, if you time it right, as well as give you more damage, is 2 HP. Once you start getting the download, that's the next step for Annie, where you just commit to, I know you're gonna do this here, and I'm gonna kill you for it. Bending the bar to stay safe. No confirm, but good throw afterwards. I still think you might want that monster a little bit further out of the corner. That looked a little close for getting all of the setups to me. Oh. Also, we have no reason to be calling Annie DP assist full screen. Landing on the Annie, we should have seen her come in. It was kind of hard because she was below you, but she came in from the corner. Oh, drops the game-winning combo, PBGC in the get there. You were gonna get shipped out regardless. Okay. Things are looking really good, straight. Do tend to go for air throw a good amount. I know we discussed this. It's not the end of the world, but learning other mix can help a little bit. Getting more damage. I made the point about the setup you had for the jump light kick, specifically on Val. It felt like it whiffed a lot. I don't know if I noticed it whiffing on other characters. Just remember seeing it a couple times in a row whiffing on that, so going into the lab, making sure you pick Val. Figuring out if it does work on her, and if it does, understanding what you need to change to get it more consistently. One final thing is, I think you could add some burst baits to your game plan. Especially with as much air throw as you do. Something to consider is, what are your burst bait options for the same setups that you put in your air throws? Because you were doing a really good job of calling out mashes, but you were just doing it by blocking it and getting the counter hit afterwards. Burst baits make people pretty afraid to press buttons. And you also just get to check if they're trying to reversal reactively or if they are really just churning butter. The wiki will definitely have some, probably off some of the same setups you use. For like double stuff, I think you can fake the cross under air throw and just press jump light punch instead. I'm pretty sure that burst baits. I'm sure there are other options. I don't play double well enough to tell you. Annie, I know you can do like air dash backwards jump light kick as a burst option. Obviously, some of these like reset neutral if they don't burst. You can layer an assist behind, among other things as well, to get pressure back, and so you're not just forfeiting being at an advantage with the burst bait. And especially if you do it in the corner, obviously they're still in disadvantages because they need to fight their way out. Thing to be looking for, because I think you have a good idea of when people want to match. And now you can just punish it even harder if you implement those. Saw a little bit of the Annie air dash stuff. It's not the biggest deal because that kind of is how a lot of people play her in the first place, but again, think about doing it, understand that you're doing it, and know how you'd want to change your game plan if people are starting to punish you for it. Yeah, and then I feel like those are the majority of the points. Obviously the games were a little bit more one-sided, so we didn't get to see everything. And then, so to move on to shoes, obviously, so air throws, I'm pretty sure, have a longer tech window than ground throws, so reaction teching is a bit more possible in the air. It's still hard. It is still incredibly difficult. Other than that, it's understanding, especially versus air dash characters or characters with a good ground dash, the distance at which they can throw. Because like air dash Eliza throw is a jump scare and will reach you from very far away. Stuff like that. Annie's air throw is also pretty solid. One way to prevent that is also just do up back air throw as a defensive layer. Because air throws can beat out a fair amount of buttons, especially with how fast they are. The bigger your air throw, the better for this. And if they try and run at you and catch you up backing with an air throw of their own, you'll just end up teching. So that's a habit you can add in. Obviously, like any other thing, if you do it too much, you can start getting punished for it. But it's kind of just understanding that it's going to happen and having plans in place for dealing with it. So it's like, oh, I've been air thrown 3 times already. I'll really try and focus on seeing them run at me and just try to be ready. Like, in the forefront of your mind, a throw might be coming. And that really helps you reaction tech. Because if you're ready for it and that's one of the first things you're looking for, usually your fingers are still just like hovering over the throw keys and you just go, okay, slap, like, do it. Or you can try and do it predictively, but that leaves you open to other things similar to the up back air throw. But overall, up back air throw is a pretty strong defensive layer. Other than that, yeah, just reactive tech, working on reaction teching and understanding the space at which people can go for it. Throws are quite strong in this game. Like, they are incredibly strong, and the way they are balanced is just they give you less damage. And so, not autopiloting is a very similar process, where you either focus... you need to encourage some way of like thinking actively throughout the whole set. And obviously for longer sets, especially once you start getting to like first to 10s, first to 20s and beyond, you do want to rely on your autopilot because it takes a lot less mental energy, so you will tire out a lot slower. But if you want to be changing your habits or avoid autopiloting, either try and focus on a couple things specifically through the match. So like, I want to focus on reaction teching, and then really be looking for areas where you can work on that. Or if you're trying to change your habits, I really want to stop like only up backing here. And so just try to constantly remind yourself, constantly reinforce, I want to do this. I want to do this. I am looking for this. And sometimes for people, it helps to like have on the second monitor or have a notepad, just a couple of things I want to focus on that game. And that helps you just stay on track. I think I'll end that there, unless you'll have any further questions, because we've got to keep moving, and I talk way too long. So I wanna not have everyone here until midnight. So we got Dovat in here, let's get Koala in here. And I'll reiterate, in case y'all weren't here earlier, this defense flaw, I was focusing mostly on straight because they were the person who actually were there. The things I noticed were honestly not necessarily defensive issues. I think you might have been playing your characters a little bit too aggressively. So you were playing somewhat patient with Valentine, but then every now and then you just full send it and like air dash in or use all of your movement options above their head. You wouldn't go as far as to commit to raw bypasses, which is definitely I'm not the biggest fan of raw bypasses. They can work BBP and like Gray, and if you want to throw back, I can't remember their name now, have made hard read plays like that work. But even just getting yourself closer to your opponent as like the annoying runaway spacing character is a threat. And then especially for Robo, the amount you went in definitely led to you getting hit a lot. You would do a lot of sweeps and push yourself forward. You would beam in aggressive locations. You would helicopter towards people and then opt to land on them with jump medium punch rather than just try and completely double jump and fly away. Land on them instead with like jump heavy punch, make it incredibly hard to contest. Overall, I just think you were not playing to your character's strengths of being a lot more defensive and agile. And so I didn't necessarily notice horrible habits on defense because you had some pretty good blocks. Some push blocks were a bit iffy, but like double is a hard character to push block because jump heavy punch can be fast fall, so on and so forth. So more than defense, I think it's your neutral choices and where you decide to end up placing your characters. Because that was where I saw you got hit more than just getting opened up. Mix in this game is mix. It's like sometimes you just guess wrong. And then I didn't get to see you play defense all that much straight, so I can't speak to that, unfortunately. Yeah. It's definitely looking for what you were doing on hit and neutral more so than defense, and that's it. But we are on to the new, and we are on to Peacock Mirrors. George is gonna prevent you from doing anything there. You just gotta take that. Raw tagging to this matchup. I don't know if I agree with this. Because you are in for a world of hurt now. Good job getting in. Oh, and they're out. Now you have time. Oh, you set up Ravenous first. Yep, you've got plenty of time. They don't have 2 bars, so they can't Pillar of Creation you. Singer's still a threat, but yeah. Just got anti-aired as he committed in. Yeah, I definitely want you to be in Rav. I want your default approach option to be in Rav. Obviously, you can't set that up versus Pete, but versus Annie, you had the time there. Alright, how are we playing this? Get the beam out. Yeah, not dealing with Avery. Good recognition on damage. I didn't realize you had that much meter. Just keep calling your assist. Really good call out on the teleport. Oh! We're mixing? What's the Rob? Oh, that's awkward. I saw that chug a little bit. We're readying up. Might have just been on my end. It's weird that this game drops frames not in full screen. Appreciate both y'all for showing up. Hey Jack, and I'm glad you like the content. Hopefully it helps. Or hopefully it's just entertaining if you're not actively playing the game. So... yeah. Teleport. M. George. We can do it right. Now we're stuck. So we're not able to figure out this mirror. I cannot tell you the best ways to do it. I will encourage you to talk with players like Rika, with Chef, although I don't know how strong he is, with Baghdad. figure out how you want to navigate this mirror more, because we are consistently losing it hard. Very much like the decision. Yeah. Honestly, I think you're fine keeping them in that corner. Contest them if they leave. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure you actually have time to set up Rav. Obviously on hit, you get it. Very good. Get the mix. Oh, bit overextended. I would... Level 3, okay. Cashing out isn't as bad. Although we're still not in Rav quite yet. Honestly, I don't think you need to cash out as much as you did. But we're back in Rev, so you might be right. Yeah, I would not recommend pressing on Annie in this mode. What I look for playing against it is I look for PBGC, like I think you just did. Because you're very rarely going to contest it in neutral, but it gives you so many multi-hits that you can almost always just threaten a reversal. Or you force them to back off. Obviously, you're still eating the chip. It is what it is. Yeah, you unfortunately didn't actually have the time to reflect that. Try to see what I can find for Dovod, because so far, I mean, what they're doing is working, and it's working quite well. I don't know what I'd actually want to yell at them for. Koala, I have some thoughts about Umbi. They obviously play Umbi more, so honestly, I could be wrong. But based on my understanding of the character... Okay, we won the interaction first. Now we're going, they've gotten through, item drop. Right, you have momentum. And you are not letting go, this is good. That super is just not really gonna ever do much, I don't think. Oh, why does that ending win? There's a really good sound heavy punch to deal with the teleport. Oh! This won't chip out. Oh, the punish! That doesn't punish. I don't know if you can go to Magnet there off of Argus. That's a good question. Getting mixed. Unfortunate. Okay. How are we choosing to play? Called the assist a little too early for how close we were to the corner. I do not agree with this. The damage is nice, but this is not to win a game, and now you are really far into Ravenous. Or really far into Satiated. If you're expecting to have to play neutral again, I would definitely... argue for staying closer to Ravenous and not catching all the way up on your specials. Because look at how long you're stuck in Satiated currently. Now they get out. And so, I know Odd does go into overstuffed occasionally. My understanding of it is usually if it's going to kill a character in a way that wins the game. Because otherwise you're just stuck in her slowest mode, or if you quickly get into Satiated, into a pretty mediocre character for at least a little bit. Getting caught by that. Diani is a little bit too tentative to do much. That again, I mean, it's Umbrella. Umbrella's terrifying. Get the confirm. Honestly, run away. Oh, you get a full combo after this. I don't think I realized that. And now we run away. Zone the Peacock. Just saw you push block a projectile. I don't know if you were looking for anything specifically. This, yeah. Good punish. Are we watching the timer? We don't have time to do this. We need to go forward. We don't have time to do this. We need to go forward. Too late, I think. Yep. Gotta send it.
Saved by the bell.
I know a lot of the things I want to say to Koala. I will try and focus a bit more on Dovod currently.
Let's do this in one take. Showtime.
Well, we got an assist out. You're losing this because Dovod is just calling their assists better. So they're getting use out of them, and yours are either you're not calling or you're calling at a place where they'll get hit. You got out of the vortex, through the garbage, and chalked by item drop. He's just dead. There's no way this kills. Off the counter out. Unless you're running the DP, well, deal with this. I don't think you're looking for any specific windows, so I would not recommend you push block any of these projectiles. You're putting yourself into just more block stun, Koala. Yeah. That's... Especially when you're in the air, because you're just holding yourself in place for item drop, rather than putting yourself in an opportunity to just land cancel the item drop instead. Yeah, you're holding yourself in place for Airshow George like perfectly. So, yeah, and you're not really feeling it right now. Some days it's like that. Sometimes you play and you're just like, I am not doing anything right. Days like that happen. I played Full Bleed, I think yesterday, and went like 12-1 in his favor. Some days, it just ain't it. But so far, right now, we're doing a really good job. Dovod could not find a place to call their assists. Rolled Roller, coming in to save the day. Bonk. Getting the kill. Alright, what's the Annie doing? Getting happy birthday. That's not good. Pillar of Creation, not actually getting the hit unfortunately because of George. The patience. Let's install. When I say up back into air dash slow, that's what I mean. That's what just happened, and you kind of got bodied for it. You ended up air dashing into a jump heavy punch. kill. Yeah, can't do that to mine. Okay. Okay. So for Koala, it seems like a lot of the point war ended up going much more in Dovad's favor, and it looks like a large majority of that ended up being assist usage. Seems like you were calling your beam into item drop a fair amount, and so it was getting tagged and going away, and that allowed them to get their assist out. And some games you were catching their assist with item drop, other games you weren't, and then the second you didn't hit their assist, all of a sudden you were forced to stop what you were doing, which let their P just set up everything they wanted. And so what we saw throughout the course of either of those games was once someone got started and got the advantage, the other person really struggled to actually get a handle on it. So I can't tell you specifically what the window is. It probably would do you good to just go back and look at the replays and see when things worked and when they didn't. Because obviously there was a lot of things not working and then a couple times where it did. And if you can decipher the difference, as well as just asking other Ps, but I know you talk with a lot, you'll start piecing together the puzzle of just winning the mirror. Other than that, I think my biggest complaint was how you managed your hunger bar with Umbi. This is from an outsider perspective, so I don't know if you have different opinions. But my understanding of the character and how she functions currently. So, got sidetracked. So, the way I understand how the character functions as an outsider from playing against her and like thinking about her, she almost always wants to be as close, well, in Ravenous as much as possible. And so if you're given time in neutral, if you're given space to set up, you set up your like one rotation of zoning and you get there. Obviously, you don't have that window versus Robo or P for the most part. You can do it a little bit more versus Robo P. You've got to just do with what you got. But when you were on hit and managing your own hunger, especially, you would opt to cash out a lot all the way into Overstuffed, which I talked about then, but I'll reiterate now. I only understand people going to that when they're going to kill a character. Like, they need the damage route, and they know killing that character will probably just succeed in winning the game. Otherwise, if they expect to play neutral again, they won't cash out as much, and they will opt to stay as close to or in Ravenous. And that is not what I saw from your play. So that is where I'd probably direct the Umbi. Yeah, no, Umbrella is hard, and there's a lot of decisions to make. This is my understanding of how I expect the character to be played, at the very least. I can definitely ping Odd and ask her and just be like, is my understanding of this correct? But that is how I'd recommend thinking about spending your hunger in terms of combos. I don't know how much of the Robo I actually got to see all that much of. And then the other big thing was just don't push block the P projectiles if you're not looking for a PBGC window. There were a couple of times, like, you more often than not weren't doing it, but I saw it a couple of times and it really just screwed you over. You were stuck there for a lot longer than you needed to be. I think that's kind of the gist of it. For Dovad, I don't have much to say because the majority of the set was just good Peacock zoning, winning it. I think the biggest thing was your Annie felt like your least comfortable character by far. Where when she was out on point, you weren't trying to command control of the game at all. And so the last point I made, where you did up back air dash in, that's a thing a lot of Annies fall into. It's a reasonably strong tool. If it's something you do a lot, you will get punished because it's slow and predictable. I rant about this a lot, so I'm not going to get into detail. As well as just didn't feel like you were exerting much pressure. You kind of just didn't hold people in corner, box out space, contest with like air-to-air jump light kick. You weren't holding ground buttons or making them scared to up back with like 2 medium kick, or just pressing like 5 medium punch and reaching out and trying to catch them. The Annie feels like it could use a little bit more work. I think that's probably the character for you to focus on, because the other two were looking good. And obviously, these games were a small sample size, and I could only catch what I could in a live review. That's the unfortunate downside of this sort of setup. But if either of y'all have other questions or want me to look in further in depth into things, shoot me a ping and I'll go back in the VOD and look specifically at you and see what else I can piece together. Other than that, I think we'll go to the final set, which should probably be Pharma versus ISO, if ISO's still around. While we wait. Oh no. We got one gamer. Where's the ISO? Ugh. Alrighty. I'll be getting a confirm off of that. Default shenanigans. Alright, resume zoning. Both of y'all are playing this matchup very aggressive. What in the... Optic just told the Lenny. The ant. Good awareness on Civil War. Patient. Getting her zoning set up. Not quite getting shot while doing it. Opting to do this again. Oh, we royally messed that up. Also messed that up. Yep. Oh, not quite. She's too far away. Love that. Good punish. People are giving each other a lot of respect. Not entirely sure what you wanted to press on that setup. I don't think anything you can mash wins there. Unless they go for low. This is like layer 20. Fair. I see it was a long queue, I'm saying.
Cameras rolling and showtime.
You want the double. Interesting. Kill. Three. Nice. Wow. Yep, you cannot pillar that if your assist is on you. The assist slows it down. Oh, both your doubles are bleeding. Oh no. Does this kill? Yeah. Eesh. This is a lot of meter to be spending for pressure. I would rather you just do cat heads and hold them in place. Get up forward, good text. What in the world happened there?
And now a word from our sponsors.
That was Clyde getting rollbacked into losing to 2LK. Five flat games. No matter the score. Just go to 5.
Let's do this in one take. Action.
Oh, I don't think that's what we wanted. Good confirm. Kill this criminal. Good absolute guard. I would argue don't do the full on Dizzy combo and snap before you max out on Dizzy, just so your next hit on incoming isn't scaled if you're gonna do that. The damage afterwards is negligible on the first person, but that's just how I look at those situations. Yeah. It's a close game. This meter is a little bit valuable. I'm not sure spending it to not kill the assist is worth it. And now it's all gone. Good confirm. Try to get a side swap, I see. Oh, we're opting to get rid of the Devil's Red Health herself. Get the corner carry. Get the fastball. What's the mix? Strike throw, chugging a little bit. Yeesh. Mix early, because you already scaled. Bike guy. Oh, yeah, this works. And yeah, if you wanted to do bike spikes, not doing bike guy does make sense. Parasol jump medium kick just naturally overheads double. I'm 90% certain of that. Pretty sure it does it to Eliza double band. Alright, while y'all are loading up, I need to check to make sure my dog isn't doing something. Sorry. Back to the Robo. I know y'all said y'all are on like layer 30, but we gotta push block some of those crouch light kicks at this point. And mixed. From a kinetic lead, just, yep, box them into the corner. What in the world? I would definitely... Oh, I had something. But yeah, I think your Doll is like, the 2 HP is nice. You can afford to also just use 5 Heavy Punch Luger and neutral a bit more. Something I don't think I see either of you do all that much. That's unfortunate. Obviously, hindsight is 20/20, but I would have liked to see a detonate there instead of another shot. I really like detonate when you see it's on an assist as well. Pharma, don't get robbed, please. Nice. Okay. Finish her. One last game. Fortunately, I don't think I end up having all that much to say. Because y'all are just playing pretty well. And obviously a lot of the choices y'all are making are just dealing with Yomi at this point. So I'll say what I can when I wrap it up, but we saw that SS get called years ago. You gotta not overcommit into it. Off counter, good punish. Get her back in here. Mixed. Don't think you really needed to go forward on Robo. Don't think you need to guarantee the double kill. You could have forced another tag and just gotten even more guaranteed chip damage. Ale? Appreciate you remembering those. Unfortunately, we're probably about to end up here as well in just a couple minutes, but thanks for stopping by. If any of y'all are looking to learn Skullgirls, obviously I'm pretty sure most of y'all know, but every Saturday we host this event. We'll take a look at your games, try and match you up against a relatively even opponent, and give you some advice. Give you some pointers on where to go. Yep, overextending into pillar again. So, can start rotating back around to throwing them a bit more to punish them for down back plus assist. Alright, so I know this is a little bit more of like a me opinion, but just based on what I saw and how the interactions went, I would argue both y'all might make your might have your zoners be a little bit too aggressive. Obviously, y'all are layering your assists behind to keep them safe, but I saw a couple of shenanigans where like ISO, you were just doing sweep forward into dust and not getting anything for it, and you probably should have gotten punished for it a couple more times. And then for Pharma, I definitely saw you do sweep Mbang, at least towards the start, a bit more. Again, I recognize y'all said you were on like layer 30 of a 20 plus game set. Makes sense. Yeah, I talk too long, Tay. that's the I decided we'd do 5 flat even though it's pushing it, and then I talked for way too long. Whoops. But yeah, there was that. I forget which one of your parasol it was, but instead of getting a second shot out if they already have a tier on them, do the det instead, like tier det, or like tier so shot toss. I really like alternating them or getting bike guy out. Shooting 2 is but especially if they already have an assist on them, like if they called their assist with the tier on them, I am almost always looking to detonate there. Both y'all's doubles could probably do 5 heavy punch a little bit more instead of as much 2 heavy punch as you were doing, but pick your poison. It's slightly different spacing. Both are really strong neutral tools. One covers a bit more space than the other. What else was there? Start noticing when ISO consistently down back plus DP assist and throw them a little bit more for it. In the final 2 games, you were kind of getting caught overextending into it. when you could have reacted and stopped pressing, as well as started just throwing them for as frequently as they were doing it. But yeah, I think that's about it. Y'all are playing good games, and obviously I can only, in just one pass on a live setting, it's not great. So if y'all want more advice or a further look, give me a ping, let me know. I'll revisit stuff after stream. If you have any questions now, obviously shoot them. And this is true for anyone who was reviewed today. If you didn't like the advice or you wanted more advice given, feel free to ping and I'll revisit the set, try and find some more stuff. Yada yada, you know that whole shebang. At the end of the day, this is a resource for y'all. So if y'all aren't learning, if y'all don't feel like it's worth your time, I'm obviously doing something wrong. On that note, again, I appreciate you dearly for the raid, Munoz, but we've also been live for almost like 3 hours. It's time for me to make sure the dog gets out, close up for the day, that whole business. So I think I'll be closing up on our end over here too. So on that note, I will get the promo vid going and find someone else to shovel all y'all off onto. So take care. I'll catch y'all later.
And my spectator.
That's okay.
Oh,
Second
ooh.
camera.
Oh, nice. Ooh.
Oh, we avoided
Let's go.
it. Nice.
Oh, let me see it.
Hey,
Here's the combo.
Hey.
you finished this. They died.
That's somewhat of a combo,
Nice.
yeah.
Hey, they're dead.
We're missing a few more parts to it, but
Yeah.
We got combination.
It's like we have some bombas, but like our knowledge of the mechanics of the game are not exactly there just yet.